Hello everyone, congratulations on successfully completing your first week of classes. In this tech, I'm going to be talking about engineering from reliable sources. When you research a new topic, it's extremely important to use information from any reliable source. This will help us understand the exact truth about the topic, and we will be able to develop or engineer solutions to the problems which we want to solve. It is extremely difficult to evaluate a source. So based on my experience, I've grouped them into three different categories. And the first category would be reliable sources. Reliable sources are sources where the information written is actually be written and peer reviewed by experts in that field. An example of that would be a textbook, a journal article, or a patent, a conference publication, standards, technical reports, and national newspaper. The second category would be sometimes reliable source. An example of that would be Wikipedia, flyers, pamphlets, newsletters, and local newspapers. The reason why I have Wikipedia in this list is because any information in Wikipedia can actually be modified by anyone with an email address. The last category would actually be unreliable sources, and an example of that would be advertisements, personal blogs, and social media. The reason why I have personal blogs, and social media is that these are mostly opinions which are shared by an individual, but not just facts and scientific findings. Now that we have seen the different categories of sources available, let's see how we can evaluate any given source before we use them. First is to see what kind of a source is it. Is it a textbook, a journal article, or is it a website? And then what is their writing style and how the information has been organized. Second most important thing is to see the author's information, his or her credentials, and their qualification. And this qualification should actually match with the information written, because you probably wouldn't trust me when I write information about how to save taxes while my background is mechanical and biomedical engineering. The third most important thing is to see the date of publication. And this is because information gets updated every minute, and even with scientific findings, sometimes the research conclusions can be contradicting from one another. A classic example would be is that people believed that earth is flat before the 4th century, and after that, because of the advancements in science and technology, people were able to prove that earth is spherical in shape. Fourth important thing you want to see is to see any information you find has been backed up from a credited source. An example of that is a sentence which says that 33% of human population suffers from cardiovascular diseases. The problem with this sentence is that 33% of what population? Is it the global population or is it a country's population? And the second problem would be, where was this 33% number derived from? And that's when you cite the source where this number was actually calculated. The next important thing you want to see is that the author doesn't have any kind of motivation or funding to conduct this research, because that can actually lead to biased conclusions. The last thing we suggest to do is to always make sure any information you find has been cross-verified from 3 different sources. An important thing which you want to be reminded of is that when you cite your sources in your project, please use the MLA citing style. And this can be done by citing using Microsoft Word. There's this references tab where you can actually select the style which you want to use. And please email me if you have any questions about how to evaluate a source or how to use citation styles in Microsoft using this email ID given below. And these are the references I use to develop these slide deck. Thank you so much for listening.